Hi there, namaste, and welcome back to another spiritualistic pick a card reading. Today's reading is super special because it is in collaboration with my girl Carissa over at 9 3/4. So today I am channeling a message to you from your inner light being, and Carissa is channeling a message to you from your inner shadow being. As always, I'm so grateful for you for being here, and I'm sending you all of the love in my heart and soul. So please take a deep breath, drawing the energy up your spine, creating a clear and open channel. And as you exhale, allow yourself to come into clear knowing which group or groups has your message in it for you today. We have group number 1 with the Possum, Opportunity, and number 41. We have group number 2 with Eagle, Spirit, and number 0. And we have group number 3 with the Wallaby, Progression, and number 22. Timestamps are listed below in the description box, as well as all the rest of my information for personal readings, joining my YouTube members channel, my Patreon, and my Etsy shop where you can get personal readings, personal Reiki sessions, my books, my Follow Your Heart Oracle deck, the crystal jewelry that I make, and just all of that good stuff. You will also find in the description box your link to Carissa's part of this collaboration, so please go check out her channel too, because she's got lots of good fun stuff on there too, and I love working with her. So thank you so much for being here today. I'm sending you so much love, and I will see you at your reading. Namaste. Hi there, group number 1. Namaste, and welcome to your reading. Today I'm channeling a message to you from your inner light being. You selected the first group with the Possum card, with Opportunity, and number 41. Now this is interesting. I heard it's a possum as soon as I picked up the Possum card. And so there's something here about there being an opportunity starting before you think. Now there's also an energy here of flowers. They're showing me flowers that start with the P. They're showing me peony flowers. They're showing me poppies. They're also showing me a popinox. So for my herbalists out there, my spiritual sign looker people, friends, those can be signs to look out for. Or maybe add some popinox resin and put it maybe on your altar, or keep it with you, or include it in your spiritual practice to enhance the magic in your life. There is definitely an opportunity that is on its way towards you. And this happens to be because specifically you have been making more spiritual effort lately. And your inner light being wants to let you know that you are at a place of guiding others. Whether or not this is intentional, whether or not you know that you're doing this, what you're doing right now, making the spiritual effort, is making beautiful opportunities for you in the future. And they're also aware that your intention is love and grounding that love. There's an indication here of working a lot with the astral body, working a lot with different types of energies, different types of light refractions. And the possum here, it's kind of indicating too that you might be receiving a lot of downloads in your dreams right now or at night. If some of you are feeling inclined to stay up a little bit later, or alternatively to get a little bit extra sleep, there's a reason for this too. There's definitely an indication. Now, as you know, this is a collaboration with the lovely Carissa over at 9 3/4 Tarot, but she's doing your shadow self, and I'm doing the inner light being. So it's really interesting to see this dynamic coming forth in your reading by selecting a nocturnal animal. There's an energy where right now you have done such a beautiful job at bringing light into where there once was darkness. And so it's kind of begging the question of, is it light and neutrality? Is it only neutrality, or is it only light? Because it honors the shadow, but when you dive into the shadow, there is not pain, there is not strife, there is not anything other than, what a beautiful night sky, what a beautiful moon, look at all those stars. Look at that beautiful, cozy, nocturnal energy, as opposed to there being more work for there to do. So, your inner light being wants to let you know that there are opportunities ahead for you. Yes, because you've been making extra spiritual effort lately, but also because you listen and keep an eye out for the signs. You follow your intuition, and there's kind of an energy as well where notice that He is this little possum guy. He's holding onto this branch with his feet, and he's kind of squeezing a little bit, which would normally bring a little bit of constriction to his lumbar area and kind of create a slight density in those lower two chakras here. So this is also letting me know that your light being wants to create more space, perhaps elongating your spine in the lower areas, in the lumbar spine, or perhaps is letting you know that there's an opportunity coming your way when it pertains to the lower two chakras. Your security, your stability, your comfortability, your pleasure, your emotional fulfillment, your sensuality, your creativity. So, as we take a look at this too, you're being encouraged to create more space in your life, in your future, for these energies to come in. So this is the first message from your inner light being. Let's take a look at your tarot. They're also drawing attention to 41, which reduces to a 5 in numerology. I don't always reduce combinations of 4s and 1s specifically because, as we know, 14 can indicate guidance, 41 can indicate also guidance, but also being on the other side of something, either giving guidance or on the other side of receiving that guidance. But I do feel guided to reduce it today to that 5, which does have to do with your inner child, has to do with the color blue, your expression, your throat chakra. It also has to do with, of course, changes and, again, opportunities. The light attribute of 5. It's change, it's play, it's romance, it's childhood, it's expression, it's expressing yourself. The shadow attribute of 5 is change and obstacles and all of the difficulties that come with change when you really don't want to. But that's not what we're looking at today. We're looking at opportunities. And that's why there's something here that is a sum of all of your efforts that is providing itself to you because you are in tune. You are in tune. So we have the, okay, that wants to come out, so I'll honor it. Knight of Swords at the back of the deck. 7 of Coins was making itself known first and foremost, and it's coming into an energy of alchemizing what you've given in the past. Okay, so some sort of foundation that you have already built, it's going to be coming back around and you're going to be receiving the other end of it. We'll place it at the center of your spread. This is largely going to have to do with a conversation you once had, an email you once sent, something that you said and put out there, or something that you said that just struck a chord or rung a bell with someone. Okay, next, let's take a look at these two cards. We have the Strength, and we also have the King of Cups. We also have the Knight of Swords that came out, kind of wanted to come over here, which lets me know that in the alchemizational energies here, you are either fully releasing out of your energy field some sort of stress or holding on to excess tension, a little bit of mental anguish, or just some narratives, a little bit of that clenchy energy, perhaps behind the collarbone, perhaps in the heart or throat area, or that channel between. And a little bit of stress here, which lets me know that you are either letting go of it or you are passing it through your heart to see where it came from so that you can transmute it. Depends on where you are in your journey, but they wanted me to honor both. I'm getting for most of you, this is something you've already processed, and so because of this, it is now on its way out, creating a clear and open channel, but you decide how you want to process the energy. It either goes this way, maintaining that channel, or it comes this way and gets transmuted out, okay? So depending where you're at. So your inner light being wants to let you know that you've been doing a lot of work lately and you've been showing your strength. There's something about your effort that has been showing more than usual lately, and your effort towards love, your effort towards gentleness. Now, actually, this is reminding me of a moment I had in my yoga practice earlier today, and just the theme of what's coming out. Okay, take it as it resonates to your situation. Your inner light being wants to bring this up for you, though, about what is your drishti, and that is, what is your gaze? What is your focal point? Where are you looking? And you might be aware of where to put your gaze, but there's this energy here of what I heard specifically is keep your drishti, keep your gaze at a place where it is elongating the spine. It is creating straight, balanced, strong, but also gentle and soft center and spine and kundalini, but it's also not at a place where it's so forward that it's causing your forehead to wrinkle, that it's causing stress. For example, your drishti can be straight ahead. It can be creating a triangle from where you currently are from 2 points, or it can also be like the tip of your toes or the tip of your fingers or whatever, your gaze point. And so your light being is saying that there is a point that you have been gazed on for so while, but you started to focus on something so much so that it caused you a little bit of stress, a couple forehead wrinkles perhaps. And so you've been making extra effort in order to not just work towards opportunities, but to be strong enough to just release all of that, to let yourself take better care of yourself, to let yourself enjoy the foundation you're currently at. We have 8 and 7. Perhaps see what's been hanging around on the outskirts of what you've been focusing on lately. So in a place where you are honoring your focal point. You are aware of what that is, but you're not so focused on it that it's perhaps making you go cross-eyed. Or you're not so focused on it to the point where you can't elongate the gaze a little bit beyond that, or a little bit falling short of it too, because that will still fall along the path. Okay? There's kind of this energy of releasing focus enough that it's actually letting you stop and smell the flowers a little bit, which is really beautiful. So softening up your gaze in a larger meaning of the term specifically, and it's also drawing me towards kind eyes. Your inner light being wants you to practice kind eyes, and if you're unfamiliar with this is essentially where you pull out your kind eyes, those eyes when you love something so very much, when you have full love and compassion, and look at yourself either in both of your eyes or in your third eye with kind eyes in a mirror. It's kind of a visual affirmation for yourself. You know, we look in the mirror and we tell ourselves, I am love, I am gratitude, I am beautiful, I am abundant, whatever it is that you are telling yourself. You can also give yourself kind eyes, and we'll practice perhaps a little smile with your eyebrows, which you can just feel the little muscles in your forehead and your eyebrows you release, and it also opens up your third eye. It releases those forehead wrinkles, it releases that stress, and it pulls that energy back behind your ears, and you'll be able to create more space there and feel that flow down your spine, right? Because we do have energies that awaken and go upward like our Kundalini, but we also do have energies that flow back downwards, because the process is typically a circle down the back of the spine and up the front of the body. That is a natural flow. And so as we ascend different energies, we also have energies that want to come down through us as well, and everyone has both. So allow yourself to soften your gaze and see which way your energy is flowing. See which way your energy is asking for you to flow, and let yourself again soften your gaze towards yourself, towards your goals, and understand that there are opportunities coming forth into your life because you have been singing in tune. Now, this is just really giving me so many signs and synchronicities on this card, because look, we have a possum. He is a little guy who does the most, right? He plays dead when he gets scared. He comes out at night, causes all the mischief in the world, but no one ever sees him, right? With possum here, an opportunity, they're showing me it's possum or a possum, and we have the beginning of opportunity coming out here, which lets me know this is coming in a way that is sooner than you might have anticipated it to come. We also have po here, which is door. There's a door opening for you. It is the sum of the hard work you've been doing, and I did feel called to reduce the 4 and 1 to a 5 today, creating change, romance, fun, play, because you are in tune with the universe, and because you are in unity consciousness. You feel like you are one with everything, and there are so many beautiful energies just coming through this card alone. And the messages coming out from your light being are indicating that you have done a great job at dealing with matters of your mind, looking at what has been bestowed upon you that you might have been holding on to mentally, verbally perhaps, and things that you are releasing that did not belong to you mentally, or even if you did claim them, if they came straight from you and not from anyone else. Allowing yourself to release that which does not serve you, and strengthening your gaze, strengthening your sense of intention, which is beautiful. And I'm hearing again, soften your drishti. Okay, so we have 7 of coins with the King of Cups coming out here, with the Knight of Swords at the back of the deck. And this is kind of letting me know as well, your inner light being wants you to focus on the foundation you've already built and see yourself for not what your surroundings are perhaps assuming that you are, but let yourself shine like the diamond that you are. Soften your gaze towards yourself, and as you see yourself in others and you treat them with that compassion, you look at them with that compassion, you speak to them with that compassion, also allow yourself to reinvest that compassion back into yourself, because they're drawing an attention here to your self-love journey, drawing this externally in the way that you treat others as well. But your self-love journey doesn't stop there. The way that you are treating other people, still bring it back to yourself, and so on and so forth. And this is an energy that's coming up and in, magnetizing, which is where we have, again, the heart chakra, number 4, coming out for you. And with the Nine of Swords, this electric energy that's coming through your third eye, your thoughts are electric, your heart is magnetic, we are larger electromagnetic fields. So as you're able to take a look at all of the energies that are transmuting and alchemizing within and around you, it's only good things that are coming in and going out. Look at that. The Ace of Coins was hiding under this Knight of Swords. Some of you are going to have an opportunity to speak like in a softer way. There may be some energy here with the Four of Swords. Okay, 7, 4, and 9 of Swords coming up. Okay, with the Ace of Swords. You may be used to needing to perhaps defend yourself, or you might have been in surroundings where everything that you said perhaps got twisted or got challenged, and as we know, as within, so without. But we're also taking a look at your experience here, and this is coming from your inner light being. So they want to let you know that you've completed the work to release these energies from your life. So with this clarity and this foundation, let yourself see the beauty that is cultivated around you. They're showing me a gardener in a greenhouse who is spending all of their time tending to like the orchid in the center, because orchids take a lot of work. And perhaps the pothos, perhaps the citrus, perhaps the plants that don't need the constant care and attention. They've been growing, they've been flourishing, they are thriving, they are ready to be harvested, they are just beautiful growing vines. And there's this clarity here that you can pay all the attention that you want to the orchid. In fact, you will need to continue taking care of the orchid, but soften your gaze, soften your focus onto it. Let yourself appreciate the ivies that have grown, let yourself step out into the natural sunlight, allow yourself to see that which has blossomed with less effort. Let yourself see what is outside those walls that you have put yourself in, and see how beautiful it is. And that will also allow you to see how far you've come. Now they do want to mention this opportunity that's coming in the future, and they wanted to save the best for last year. We do have the King of Cups with the Lovers, which lets me know, I'm hearing the song Take a Chance on Me by ABBA. Take a chance, take a chance, take a chance. I love that part, it's so good. They want to let you know that there is some sort of energy here where someone is taking a chance on you, okay, group 1, but it's going to be in a way where, look at, we have number 6 here. It's going to honor your intuition. It's going to honor that focal point that you've had this entire time. It's going to honor that drishti. And as soon as you remove that gaze a little bit, you don't stop what you're doing. You're not hitting the brakes fully, but you might be pumping the brakes a little bit. And as you slow down just a smidge, you get to look at the beautiful surroundings you've been driving through. You still have your eyes on the road, but they're not glued to the road, which can actually stop you from seeing perhaps, little cows on the side of the road or wherever you live, whatever the thing is. But your inner light being does want to let you know that while you are softening your gaze and enjoying your life, it's going to bring in those opportunities that you have been seeking for such a long time. And your strength, your hard work, and all of the stress that you've been through in order to get to this point, it is honored by the universe, and it's honored by yourself. And that's why self-compassion is coming through as well. I'm hearing compassion flower too, so if some of you are into like incense or essential oils or gardening yourself, maybe take a look at that one. We did have quite a bit of herbalism coming out for you as well. So just to introduce into your practice, aromatherapy can be a really beautiful way to create more beauty in your internal world as well. When you are smelling something that is pleasant, or that is balancing, or that is alchemizing or polarizing, or just pleasant for you, it automatically helps with your mental state. So that's really good. That's why they say aromatherapy. I mean, teas and herbalism, there are entire sectors of medicine, naturopathic medicine, that are based around the healing powers of plants. But little things such as incense or essential oils, or letting yourself buy the flower that smells the best instead of the one that gives you fruit. For example, that can also be just as productive or beneficial as the rest. And that's also kind of part of this philosophy that your light being is trying to share with you, that you're stepping into. Yes, of course. They want you to rest in a stronger knowing. Here we have 41, and look at this little 14 coming out here on the King of Cups. They want you to know that everything, yes, happens in divine timing, but that you were following the right road to get to the right place. Your focus was on point. And when you get to your destination and what you're seeking is right in front of your face, you can start to go cross-eyed a little bit because it starts to get closer and closer and closer. Kind of like when you take your finger and you move it closer to your nose, you will start to cross your eyes a little bit. And that is what has been happening with perhaps your manifestations, these opportunities in front of you. Your gaze, what has been your focal point for such a long time, it is upon you now. And so because of this, you're being asked to soften your gaze. Give yourself compassion, give yourself kind eyes, go outside, enjoy what is around you, enjoy what is within you. Let yourself take on some more self-care because you honor it, because you deserve it, and they're honoring that you have been doing this. And they want to let you know that it's okay for you to even branch out from here a little bit, to grow like an ivy. Life doesn't have to be that orchid all of the time, although orchids are beautiful. They're beautiful, beautiful energies, beautiful flowers. And it does take a lot of skill to grow and maintain a beautiful, healthy, long-living orchid. And that is not something that goes unseen either. But that doesn't mean that you have to always stay in your greenhouse. That doesn't mean that you can't have other plants. It doesn't mean that outside the seasons don't still change, right? So letting yourself open up that gaze and understanding that the reason that you're being called to pull back and to soften is because this opportunity is in front of your face. Now you want to know a little bit more about what this is, and I'm going to let you know it has a lot to do with the way you've been making decisions based upon your intuition. It's going to have a lot to do with love, and we have compassion coming out as a main theme here today. So it's going to have a lot to do with somebody being compassionate towards you. This can be perhaps cultivating friendship, this can be having fun, this can be in any area of life. Okay, we have, if you want to look at this in the astrological houses to get and look at your own chart and the transits to get a little more information, okay, we have the 5th house, the 8th house, the 9th house, okay, we have the 7th house and the 6th house. Okay, so when it comes to your daily routine, the way that you're treating yourself in your daily routine, and the way that that has to do with your connection with others. Also, the way that you are allowing your inner child to come out, the way that you're romancing yourself, literally, the way that you are letting yourself see what's underneath and honor that enough to give you freedom, to let yourself kind of lean into, we have 8, 9, right to 1, okay? And we have Sagittarian to Aries energies. Those are both very, those are energies that honor themselves, and they're both fire. Okay, now that I think about it, we have Leo, we have Sagittarius, and we have Aries. Not necessarily the rulers of these cards, yes, for strength, but numerically is what I'm looking at. And we also have Gemini coming out here with the Knight of Swords, with the Ace of Swords. So this lets me know that in these areas of life, you're going to have more opportunities to find more freedom because you're understanding and trusting what's going on behind the scenes, because you know that you worked for it, but you also know that you can trust at this point the expansiveness and the gifts and the blessings of the universe. So you are being encouraged as well to trust that it's okay to play hot and cold a little bit in your life, because in order for you to be moving or releasing or moving forward or anything, you have to be at a frequency, which is consciousness. And consciousness does what? What do we say all the time? Vibrating. What frequency are you vibrating at? And why is that? Because whether they're near each other, a close cross-eyed drishti, or whether they're so far apart like a fish drishti, it doesn't matter. There are always going to be 2 points vibrating, as long as we are in this third dimensional realm. This is frequency. This is, where is your sine wave? Where is your frequency, right? And yours. You're being called right now into love and gratitude and compassion, something that you've been working on, something that you've been cultivating for a long time. But you are releasing those underlying energies of, well, what if it's not enough? Well, what if I don't get there? Because your light being wants to say, hello, group 1, you're here. Release your gaze, release your focus, fall back a little bit, and stand a little bit taller, be a little bit more confident. And when given an opportunity to have a conversation that might change your life, or when given an opportunity to perhaps have lunch with your friends, or when given an opportunity to have an exploration call with someone that you really want to work with, or work under, or understand, or something along these lines, perhaps have that all-night conversation with someone who's really close to you or that you want to get close with. Whatever this is, this love and communication-centered energy that honors the way that your life is shifting in its daily routine, in a way that it connects with others, in a way that you're honoring where you're at and where you want to be, but honoring where you're currently at more and where you want to be. Really drawing your energy to the present moment. I'm hearing The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, so some of you might want to look into that book if you haven't read it. If you have read it, maybe flip it open to a random page. We do have 41 coming out here, so 41, 44, maybe 77, 17. Just, if one calls out to you, flip to it. If not, do your thing. But either way, there's going to be communication. That's going to be a turning point for you. And your inner light being wants to let you know that you have done so much for others, and you've done so much for yourself so that you can do so much for others, but also you've done so much for others and now you can do so much for yourself, because it is a cycle, it is a system. It is in giving that we receive, it is in receiving that we can give. It is the vibration between those 2 points that allows us to have an open magnetic heart portal. And it's not because one outweighs the other or one is more than the other, because we are all unity. We are all one. And so, you're being asked to learn more about yourself and your surroundings at this time. To explore, perhaps, that which has been cultivating while you've been focusing on your orchid. Get to know those plants that are around you. And there's a reason for this too. It will bring even more beauty and light and love into your life. And your inner light being wants to leave you with some advice today. And it's going to be to continue working on your gentle strength. And this can be looking like meditating for 5 minutes. This can be working on doing 20 squats while you're waiting for the water in your shower to warm up. This can be however it works for you, mind, body, spirit. It can be journaling 2 sentences before you go to bed, working on that gentle strength, just taking those little nibbles. They want to ask you to continue doing this and to continue honoring your inner voice and asking what it's truly saying to you, and also what you feel you want it to be saying to you as well. You're being asked to, again, soften your gaze, soften your focus, because you've already come close to your destination, to the point where your eyes might be starting to get a little crossed. Okay, this is proverbially, okay, of course. But there is some sort of, we have the King and the Knight, okay, which indicates some sort of forward movement, masculine energy. When it comes to emotional fulfillment, calming, okay, moving towards things that are really nice, that are soothing for you. This might look like having a spa day with the friends. This might look like falling in love at happy cuffing season. This might look like getting to work on a project that's really just passionate for you. It's taking action, but it's going to come from communication. But there's this small energy of old stress that you're still aware of, that you're processing and letting go of. And so you get to decide, do you want to release it now, or do you want to examine it one more time before you release it? You are being called to do the first option, release it now. If you feel like you want to, they're showing me somebody studying and knowing that you know the material well enough, but maybe you just want to look through it one more time, okay? If you want to do that, you can. But your light being is also wanting you to know that you've learned enough. You already know They're saying you already know how the story ends. You already know what questions will be on the quiz. You already know the material, like the back of your hand, forward and backwards. So trust that you are where you're supposed to be and that you're a little bit further than you thought too. There are opportunities that are on their way for you that are going to make you really happy and feel like you are truly honoring yourself, your authentic self. This page of swords, or Ace of Swords, is really, really standing out to me as not just communication, but expression, like self-expression. Like drinking your favorite hot tea, like that favorite one that's kind of hard to get, or you have to travel to a specific place to have that certain apple cider up in the mountains. It's giving that energy of something that is perfectly cultivated, exactly, specifically chosen, honoring you, fully expressing who, what, when, where, why, and how you are, and being in that place where you would never want to be anywhere else. And so you're being asked to let yourself stumble into these opportunities that are making their way to you. And your inner light being wants to let you know that it's okay for you to shine a little bit brighter. And it's okay for you to change up your flame a little bit. Like if you were a fire and there was somebody trying to scry, like they're showing me like a bonfire, okay? And you know how we'll like look at the fire and sometimes it's a little bit blue and sometimes it's a little purple, sometimes it's a little orange or yellow or red. Sometimes it makes fun shapes, sometimes there's a ton of smoke, sometimes there's not. And it does all have to do with the base of the fire. What is the fire eating, literally? What is the fire doing? What is the fuel for the fire? And when it's just relaxed, when it's been burning for a long time, when you have solid wood in that fire and it's not too much kindling like leaves or paper or things that will get really, really like smoky, right? When it's nice, healthy kindling, there's a nice, good, consistent burn, and the fire is just easy and it's comfortable, you are that fire. So what picture do you want to paint? Do you want to show somebody a horse? Do you want to show somebody a dolphin? Do you want to show somebody their future? Do you want to connect them with an ancient deity or being? It's like you are that fire. And so your inner light being is asking you to honor that light within and let it take the shape that feels right, that feels without overthinking it. Let yourself take the shape of that light that you want to be right now. And that's okay if it's a little different yesterday or tomorrow or in 10 minutes. But don't spend all of your time spraying that orchid or turning it 12 degrees every few hours, because it's going to be really important that you open up to what's around you and honor the fact that you already grew that orchid. You're already successful at that orchid. You've already grown so many other things too. And there's an entire world out there for you to explore outside of your little greenhouse. So, when these opportunities come towards you, your light being wants you to take them and wants you to trust in the light that is yourself and trust your inner voice. Soften your gaze, give yourself kind eyes, readjust your focus, and it's okay, they're saying, if you are dreaming a little bit. And you know what happens when we dream? We have rapid eye movement. And so they wanted to draw that analogy here too and let you know that it's okay if you are looking all over the place a little bit, because you might notice that it's already within, or it's right in front of your face, or probably a little bit of both. So that is your message from your inner light being group number 1. I hope this helps shed love, light, and clarity on your situation. And if you want to stick around and listen to more messages, you are more than welcome to. We have several piles in this reading. And if you want to listen to messages from your inner shadow being, please go check out Carissa's reading, linked in the description box below, where she's going to take a look at those messages from your shadow being down at her channel, 9 3/4. So please go like, comment, and subscribe on my channel and hers. It sends us love and lets us know that you like what we're doing, and we both love what we do. So it means the entire world. Thank you so much for being here. I love you, and I'm so grateful for you as always. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, week, month, year, and incarnation in this beautiful realm. Namaste. Hi there, group number 2. Namaste, and welcome to your reading. Today we're taking a look at a channeled message from your inner light being, and you selected the second group with the Eagle, Spirit, and 0 card. Now, in the guidebook for this deck specifically, the Eagle card talks about how 0 can often indicate feeling like there is nothing left to do, nothing more to offer, but also feeling an inevitable desire to move forward, to expand, to learn, to become. And so this Eagle card literally represents spirit, which I think is very fitting considering that we're channeling your inner light being today. There is an element here of being so tapped in, tuned in with spirit, with your inner light being, that it almost makes the illusion of the realm in front of you almost as ineffable as some people might also perceive the spiritual world to be. And this is kind of interesting. The first message that your inner light being has for you is that your existence is what you have to offer, and to remind yourself to stay focused on your spiritual truth, your spiritual growth, your spiritual inheritance, and also your ability to constantly expand and grow and learn. The universe is infinite. Not just our universe, other universes too. They are all infinite. And so, no matter where you are progressed to on your spiritual journey, there is always more. And so this energy here of stepping into perhaps newness, or stepping into places where you have been before and feel like that is perhaps the most that your soul has to offer, your light being wants to come and remind you that that is only a figment of your imagination. Just as much as the realm in front of you is, just as much as your subconscious mind is. And not to allow stories that allow fractal truths to be understood to become part of that permanent reality. Because nothing truly is. Spirit is deathless. Spirit is birthless. But also, it is a creator being, the ultimate paradox. Although, when you're in that space, it's truly not a paradox. So, group number 2, the first message out here for you from your inner light being is that you can achieve anything that you can perceive, and you can perceive anything. There is no such thing as a pipe dream. And this is a really beautiful and powerful message coming out for you as well. There is this energy of constantly realigning yourself to spirit, God, source, the universe, whatever you align with, that light that is inherently you, and allowing yourself to not only be connected to it, not only honor it, not only look up to it, but embody it yourself. And so this is inevitably a beautiful place where you can perch. Oh, there's the crow. Hi, friend. If you are new here, then every time I pull out my card to do a little reading, yes, I'm talking about you. He's looking at me funny. I have crows that come and sit outside of my window. And they're my friends. And every time I dive into my little magical things, they come and say hi. And I don't think that that is an accident when we look at this energy that you are bringing forth today. Your inner light being wants to remind you that you are magical. You are just as magical as you can perceive. You are just as divine as you can perceive. And you can perceive anything. Even if you've never heard of anyone perceiving it before, you can perceive it, you can achieve it. And there's this really strong awareness behind your pile, specifically group number 2, that you are neither your body nor your mind. And so with that, you have this internal strength and freedom about you that allows you to be at this place of divine surrender and also severe determination. And it's this silent strength that is being presented as your energy in your reading today. So, with that being said, it seems that you are about to take off into a new adventure or into something new. it seems that you are in a bit of a landing place or a bit of a fork in the road, or perhaps a bit of a vantage point where it's time for you to move forward. So let's dive into the tarot and see what messages your inner light being has for you today, group number 2. I'm hearing that song, Fly Like an Eagle. Ooh, there's a solution. Okay, messages please from the inner light being of group number 2. Beautiful. Flew right out. Page of Cups. I'm hearing, I've got peace like a river, I've got peace like a river. Oh, with a 3 of Swords and the Queen of Cups. Okay, so I'm hearing the word sublimation really strongly. Your inner light being wants to, acknowledge your tenacity and acknowledge how far that you've come. And with 13, this can be an indication of that which is unseen. 0, and with this breathing point, this stopping point, this moment between breath, the moment between the inhale and the exhale, between the exhale and the inhale, that moment of is, that true pranayam. With that 3 of Swords coming out, there's an indication here that you have been sublimating things that perhaps have been unseen for a while. And this is something that is now coming to a close. Your inner light being wants to let you know that your inward work is not only paying off, but expanding through your heart, through more than your astral body, through your cosmic, causal consciousness. And with the Page of Cups coming out at the back of the deck, there is this indication that there is a new beginning for you. Actually, there are a lot of indications of this, and that you are being given a chance for you to feel once more the full, complete expansiveness of your being as you open up your eyes into a fresh realm. They're showing me somebody literally washing their eyes out, like at iron stations, if you've ever been in a chemistry lab. They're showing me you washing your eyes clean and having a new perception of the world. And again, if you can perceive it, you can achieve it. And so with this new perspective, with this new grandiosity of all that you are, all that you can see, all that you can achieve, all that you can become, there's this blank slate energy where your inner light being wants to let you know that they are so proud of you, that they love you, and that they see all that you have not expressed. They're showing me, if you've ever read Siddhartha, or if you're familiar with the story of Buddha, this does come up quite a bit in my reading, so you may be familiar from there. But Buddha first, as we know, he's a prince, and he's like deciding to give up his worldly material matters. And he goes and meditates under a tree for 40 days, and he gets all of the illusions disseminated. He gets all of this awareness, all of this enlightenment, and he comes back and he wants to share what he's learned. But he doesn't know how to express it properly, so there he goes under the tree again for 40 more days, learning how to express what it is that he's learned, who it is that he's discovered that he truly is, that true Buddhahood, that true Christ consciousness, that true Krishna consciousness, that true is energy, that true spirit within all of us. So there's this energy here of almost going back to the tree the second time, going back to the drawing board, going back to the expansiveness of your being, and allowing that which is not understood to be understood, appreciated, and finally cleansed out. Messages please from group number 2's inner light being to group number 2. You are picking up speed very quickly in your spiritual progression. And this is something that you've known you're capable of, probably something you've experienced before in the past, but this is going to be unlike any other way that you've experienced it before in the past. And we do have the Ace of Coins coming out underneath the sacral chakra, the Svadhisthana. So this is also letting me know that this is going to have a lot to do with either clairsentience or awakening to, I'm hearing Ananda, perhaps your bliss body, perhaps I'm also hearing Samadhi. Your inner light being wants to let you know that instead of tiptoeing to certain vibrations, to certain frequencies, to certain experiences or layers or levels of consciousness and bringing them back down here and then traveling back out to reach them and then coming back down here. There is an indication where those outer layers of your experience that you've had so far are going to become the foundation with which your root chakra is tuned to. They're going to become more of a constant in your life, and it's also going to be more of what you embody in your physical incarnation today. So, while some of you might tap into this and embody as far as you can of this consciousness, this is your inner light being coming to let you know that this is about to expand like a supernova. It's going to, I'm hearing, exponentially expand, infinitely like the universe. And this is going to change the way that you perceive the world, the way that you perceive yourself, as well as the way that you're perceived by others. So that really wanted to come out. Also, there's an indication here of some physical shifts that are occurring either with your body or with your life or both, primarily in your daily routine, that are going to allow you to tap more into your senses. Perhaps a lot of you, if you have spiritual gifts and abilities already, they are most likely going to be heightened to the max capacity that you've experienced before, and you might find yourself tingling your way out of that max capacity and actually understanding the depth of that iceberg you've been experiencing the tip of. And this energy, by the way, can apply regardless of where you are on your spiritual journey, what you've experienced. There is always more infinitely expanding. So with that being said, no matter where you are, even if you've dedicated 60 years of your life to this journey and you feel that you've experienced all that there is still more. It can still be considered yet only the tip of the iceberg. And if you are new on your spiritual journey too, you've awakened to the beautiful bliss that is here. And this is only the tip of the iceberg. And regardless of where we are consciously, you are being asked to take a zero perspective, a zeroed in perspective. No matter where you are at, no matter how expansive you are, it is still always only the tip of the iceberg, because everything is always expanding exponentially. We do have the Six of Coins coming out, coming underneath as a clarifier for the Three of Swords under the throat chakra as well. So this is letting me know your inner light being wants to let you know about something, some sort of reciprocity or primarily understanding about what it is that you're saying. Maybe there are some things that you did not say or that you said and were misunderstood, or you felt unheard, or there are some things that you were communicating that were not fathomable to the perception of someone else, or something like this is coming up. There is a message coming out here that you are now understood. You are now heard. There is reciprocity to this energy, okay? Or alternatively, if there's a spiritual truth that you've been having a hard time understanding or wrapping your head around, you will be gaining clarity from this as well. Okay, I'm getting a lot of sensitivity when it comes to your spiritual gifts and abilities. And we like not to think of these as much as like tricks and abilities, and more so as symptoms of consciousness, awareness. These are inherent things that every single person, every single being has access to. And it merely is a journey of remembering and deep diving. And as we'll notice, there will be some people who, oh no, so certain people are, and that is indicative of the journey of the individual. And we all have one, which is beautiful. So I think that is a big part of the reason why your inner light being wanted to collaborate with your inner shadow being on this reading. So go check out Carissa's reading from her 9 3/4 channel in the description box. I am not done with your reading, group 2. I just wanted to let you know that this was coming out. We do have the 8 of Cups, and underneath you have the 5 of Swords, letting me know that you've been releasing some stress, releasing some tension, releasing some perhaps missed opportunities. And with the Page of Wands coming out, clarifying Queen of Cups, this is saying that you are awakening to a deeper form of bliss, of love. I'm also hearing of Satya, of Ananda, than you have experienced previously. And 9 of Coins clarifying the Chariot, and I'll look at this in a Lenormand fashion in a moment. Words. There is also a grand evolution coming within your self-love journey as well. They're showing me like a bud that is just so beautiful and it feels so great, and it's just budding and budding and budding, and it's going to start blossoming. It's going to start flowering, cracking open, okay? And it's going to be just this beautiful, beautiful moment for you. There's going to be an awareness that seemingly gives you more time and space in your life. And so your inner light being wants you to continue along the journey that you're currently on, and also always keep a "this is just the beginning" mindset. And with that just the beginning mindset comes that neutrality of zero, comes that humbleness, comes that confidence that you are spirit, and that humbleness that when you are at a zero place, it feels like there's nothing for you to offer, there's nothing more for you to do. And that is what we call potential energy and what we also call potential. And the reason for this is that knowing that there is nowhere but forward to go, knowing that there is always more, but also knowing that you are always where you're meant to be. You might not be the last step that you were at, but you're certainly not at the next one you're going to take yet either. And it is in those present moments that we create and we fabricate our reality. But with that being said, as we draw everything back to spirit, everything back to source, everything back to your inner light being, this message is coming through so strongly that you are having or will soon have a large expansion of awareness. And with this awareness is going to come a large, I'm hearing, heart expansion. And the Chariot, interestingly enough, it can also represent our 5 senses. And with the 9 of Coins and the Page of Wands, this also indicates more than 5 senses too, and perhaps releasing the illusion that there is any number of senses to open up to. You have every sense, every particle of your consciousness, not just your physical body, is capable of its own sense in a way. So while we are highly sensitized in the 5 main senses, and the more we awaken to using our energy centers, our bandhas, our nadis, our chakras, and using our different skills or different layers of our consciousness, the layers of our aura, our astral body, it is honestly always exponentially expanding. Every single cell and particle of your body, of your mind, of your consciousness has on some layer, some level, been selected by you. And there's a reason. There is a skill, there is a memory, there is an indication of importance and intention behind each and every one. And the more that you draw awareness to these, the more that you get to select which ones they are. And with this, the more you also expand your spiritual and psychic gifts and abilities as well, and you realize that they're not things that you can do or things to work on or things to get better at over time, although this might be true if that is your perception, and it is also very possible to sit down and practice your skills and hone them in. That is a valid thing, but this is becoming natural, like breathing. It is that moment between the inhale and the exhale, the moment between the exhale and the inhale. It's a little bit more of being always consciously in a meditative state. And so the actual message from your light being to you today, group number 2, is going to be to allow yourself to flow naturally alongside these new senses, these new awarenesses, these new bits and pieces of perhaps information or wisdom or consciousness or expansion that might be new to you, and you may look around and not see this manifest externally through your perception until you have that awareness of that perception opening up to seeing that manifest outside of you. And thus is the journey. This happens time and time and time again. This happens with our shadow work, if you resonate with that term. This happens with our ancestry, if you resonate with that term. This happens with our spiritual development, if you resonate with that term. This happens with our higher self, and so on and so forth. So, as this is developing within you, you are being encouraged to take grandiose care of your body and your senses at this time. Make sure that the senses that you are aware of are intaking pleasant and healthy things. Also, make sure that you are prepared, I'm hearing, on a dime, for spontaneous awakening moments, as well as to release certain things that didn't serve you. This can look like gaining such awareness that you either release or adopt a behavior cold turkey. This can also look like allowing yourself to release something about your body. Okay, so some of you might be literally just doing release practices in your body, like qigong. Some of you might be increasing energy flow, circulation, doing some yin. But there is also this strong indication that you are being encouraged at this time to take physical care of your body as you would if it was spirit. Take care of yourself the way that you would take care of the divine. Take care of yourself the way that you would take care of Source incarnate, because that's literally what you are. And you have this awareness, but your inner light being wants to let you know that you are at a perching point where you have pretty good vantage of where you've been, where you're going, and you're also at this place where you've grown into the eagle. You're aware that you're spirit, and you are aware that you've already released a lot, but the journey never stops. As you release shadow and it's no longer left in your being, you still have more to shed. It just might surprise you what shape that takes. And with that being said, allow yourself to continually and fearlessly expand your awareness, because it is true that we are always shifting and changing and growing and evolving, because energy is always moving. It does not stay stuck. However, there are many storylines that go against that, which is why allow yourself to go with the flow. Allow yourself to honor the truth of where you are, where you've been, and what you experience in your internal realm. And trust that what you experience in any manner at all is merely only the tip of the iceberg. And I'd like to remind you at this point that your body is the smallest part of your being. And even that is just the tip of the iceberg as well. Your inner light being wants to come through with some advice for you today. And they want to let you know that you have understood why you've needed to experience certain things, why you've needed to walk through certain energies. And this is largely connected with your ability to not, I'm hearing, overstimulate your senses so that you can stay connected with spirit. Now, a lot of these senses are coming back online. And as this occurs, you're going to notice that there is more that feels like it's being given to you, when in reality, you may just notice that you are more sensitive. And I don't mean sensitive in a bad way. I don't mean it in a cancer cry kind of way. I mean it in a spiritual sense, as much as we can fathom here, and even further than that. They also want to let you know that your personal stability, your personal fulfillment is more important than that of anything or anyone around you. And they would like you to stay focused on this as well. Because remember that everything outside of you is a reflection from within you. You were, I'll say, gifted. You were bestowed upon. You selected a group of particles, some of which are your life path, some of which are your body, some of which is your mindset, some of which are your emotions, to work on, to work through, to transmute, to heal, to ascend, to explore with, to release, to embody and incorporate new ones. So, the most beautiful and intentional and in line with spirit, in tune and helpful for others thing that you can possibly do is work on that group of particles that you have selected for yourself in this incarnation or beyond that as a bit and piece of consciousness in the current that is the cosmic flow of consciousness. So, you're being asked to fearlessly release tension in your body, release scar tissue, release old mindsets, release old belief systems. Be as open as you can fathom, and even stretch it an extra centimeter, but never force, never push. You are being asked by your inner light being to trust that you are at a great vantage point right now. That you have a very spherical and clear understanding of who you are, why you're here, what you've been through, all of the above, everything you can do. But allow it now to expand. And as this happens, you'll notice that you start to recycle some of the things that were part of the core of that very light being. So, just because there's no shadow left, doesn't mean that there's not more to recycle. So allow yourself to explore the particles that are you. Allow yourself to explore deeper than you thought you could go. And trust that when you feel that everything is good, everything is perfect, everything is enough, that is always just the beginning point. Okay, group number 2, that is your channeled message from your inner light being. I hope this helps shed love, light, and clarity on your situation, and I hope that you have an amazing rest of your day, week, month, year, and incarnation in this beautiful realm. If you would like to listen to any other messages from your inner light being, you are more than welcome. And if you would like to listen to some channeled messages from your inner shadow self, that will be linked in the description box and take you down to Carissa's video over at 9 3/4. Thank you so much for checking out our videos. Thank you for tapping in with yourself and the universal consciousness today. I'm very grateful for you, and I'm sending you all of my love, light, and gratitude. Namaste. Hi there, group number 3. Namaste and welcome to your reading. Today we're taking a look at channeled messages from your inner light being, and you selected the third group with the Wallaby, adorable, progression and number 22. Now, there's definitely a reason why you were guided to this pile specifically. Your awareness, your spiritual expansion has been so much so that you might be a little bit nervous about it or about expressing it fully, or you might be at a place where you are starting to either reconsider your path or just put certain things into perspective differently. You have learned so much, and now you are trying to activate these energies into your life, incorporate all that you've learned, and progress along the way. And there's kind of this energy of there's always more to go. And knowing that when you take each step in the next direction, it always feels like there is more. Okay, there's kind of this energy of a lightheartedness that's been trying to come into your life recently because of the amount of your spiritual expansion, your spiritual sincerity, because so many things are shifting so drastically for you. The universe is trying to bring in some more lighthearted energies, and with lighthearted, it brings me to your internal light being who we're channeling today. They want to make sure that you feel comfortable amidst perhaps what might be perceived as discomfort occurring around you or within you. And this doesn't feel like it's too big of a deal, but it doesn't feel like it's a big deal, perhaps like it doesn't feel really painful, but it feels like a big deal when it comes to your path. It feels like a big deal when it comes to changing your life. When it comes to, some of you might be, for example, going vegan or vegetarian. Some of you might begin a whole new practice. Some of you might be really making hard right or left turns in your life because of the amount that you've progressed spiritually, where you no longer align with certain energies. Some of you might be becoming celibate, you might be cutting out alcohol, you might be making some big changes in your life because you've progressed. And so you no longer really resonate with some of the energies that just have not reached certain thresholds. And again, I would like to re-emphasize here that nothing is greater or smaller or bigger or better or anything than anything or anyone else ever. But when it comes to who you are as an individual, it's important that you allow yourself to fully activate. And so when you are on this activation journey, it's important that your behaviors align with this too. And so that is the first message that your inner light being wants to share with you today. So, messages please from group number 3's inner light being to group number 3. You feel like you are really excited about something, or you're waiting for something, or that you have been kind of clued in on something happening, and you're kind of like, maybe this Wallaby looks a little bit sketched out to me. Like, it looks like it was just shown the entire secrets of the universe and then like remembered it was a Wallaby. They're showing me that scene in Rick and Morty where they go in this arcade and they play this video game where like Morty lives an entire lifetime and then snaps back into his body after the video game, and he's like, what is going on? Where am I? Who am I? Like, there's kind of this vibe to this Wallaby. It's like you were shown perhaps like a miraculous day in your life, and now you're like, am I just supposed to pretend I didn't see that? Okay, messages, please. I'm not laughing at your situation. I'm giggling because it's cute and I feel it, honestly. So group number 3's inner light being, please messages to group number 3. You're not alone. You're really not, okay? I think your light being also wanted you and I to connect, at least vibrationally, so that you know you're not alone through this. There are some really big changes. Look, death with 6 of Wands that are leading you to your ultimate victory, and the 8 of Cups card. Okay, we have 22 and the 8 of Cups, which did come out in group number 2. So if you feel like you might have messages there, I will drop that. If you want to go check that out, only take it if it resonates, leave it if it doesn't. We have the Hierophant coming out, but it came in a cross over the 6 of Wands, letting me know that you've been devoting yourself to, this was actually where I'm sitting, facing north, okay? Yes, I get my readings facing east. There's a reason for that. But your inner light being wants to let you know that you've been so devoted to your forward progression that now certain things are starting to shift over in your favor. But these are not small. This is death and rebirth. This is letting yourself be reborn every single day, perhaps many times a day, not just sleeping and waking up, but perhaps when it comes to the depth that you are reaching in your meditations. This card is like coming out. We have the Queen of Cups coming out as well. Okay. You want me to stop here? We have the 2 of Pentacles cutting to the Chariot at the back of the deck. We have the Ace of Swords, sneaky 10 of Swords action coming out here. Your inner light being first and foremost. I will pull more cards for you, but the first thing that wants to come out is that you have been going through a lot of changes lately. So don't be surprised when things start to miraculously go better. Don't be surprised when there are deeper and more abundant layers to some of the things that are coming in your life right now than you are currently used to. There might have been some things that looked really nice on the outside, but were kind of hollow on the inside. Now there might be some things that are showing up that are a little less shiny on the outside, but are actually really big deals on the inside. Okay, so don't be surprised when your tenacity kind of shows up, when your tenacity shows up in what the universe is bestowing upon you. Your inner light being is aware. They're drawing me back to this little like, is anyone else seeing that? Like, am I supposed to pretend I didn't see that? Is anyone else seeing this? Like, what in the world? If someone knows what part of Rick and Morty that's from, can you drop it in the comments? Because it will make so much sense to those who haven't seen that. But anyway, they're drawing my attention back to this energy of like, what? Seriously? Like, how am I supposed to just act normal? Like, after seeing that, after experiencing that, your light being, your inner light being wants you to continue going down this rabbit hole. Okay, there is incentive here, and you're going to begin to notice this, but you're not doing this for the incentive, but they are making sure that you have reason to continue going down this rabbit hole. This is going to bring you to a lot of changes, and also a lot of things coming out of your life as well. Now we have a 13, we have 1, 3, which is a 4. Then we have 6, 5. Okay, we have your 4 coming out first. We have the 3 coming out in a 10, and we have a 2. What this is letting me know is that you experienced the stagnation before you experienced the grandiosity. After you experience that, then you get to enjoy it. It turns out that you already had the stagnation. You've completed, with the 10 and the 3, you've completed the work, the communication, and the connection, okay, collaboration, networking, neighborhood. You've completed these energies. And we have 13, 5, or 13, 6, 5. We have your 4 over here. We have another 13, okay? So what you were not seeing was the success and determination, but you were seeing this behind the scenes. Now what you're seeing behind the scenes, it's this entirely new rabbit hole, and what you were seeing behind the scenes now is in your life, okay? This is giving, you had a premonition, you had a vision, you had information from source, you were channeling information, and then all of a sudden it's manifesting before your eyes. And this is giving something huge. This is giving something like, am I supposed to pretend that I didn't just see, this is giving like large world events. It's giving like Nostradamus, and then being alive to watch the predictions come true. Like, this is giving this type of energy, and it doesn't just have to be when it comes to world events either. This can be spiritual truths or anything at all whatsoever, but certainly your progression is definitely feeling like it's a flower poking out of a sidewalk. Okay, it's giving you've unplugged from the matrix and you're like, whoa, I can't go back now. And we have the 2 of coins at the back of the deck, and the question is where to go from here, what to do with this. And you're being encouraged to, I'm hearing, just keep swimming, okay? What do? We swim, keep it lighthearted, keep it cheesy, okay? And I'm not saying to make light of what's going on because it's very serious, but at the same time, it's just important to have lighthearted energy as it is to be serious, okay? They're both 2 sides. two polarities, and it's important for both to be embodied. What's going on right now is a little bit serious. It's a big deal. There are a lot of huge changes going on in your life. The success, the victory, the determination that you have been experiencing, that you're going to experience still, big freaking deal, okay? I definitely see that. And there are a lot of hard truths that are about to be smacking you in the face when it comes to the reason why when it comes to the reason why you're receiving certain things, when it comes to the reason why you saw this, and when it comes to other things that are just like this that you are experiencing now, except you also have the tail end of the energy to kind of use as data to look back at. It's kind of like, when you first start following your intuition and you start listening to that little voice and you realize by not listening to that little voice what that little voice was trying to tell you, so you start listening to it. It takes you down a rabbit hole. And then eventually you learn more and more and more, and it breaks your mind a little bit. I'm hearing Where's My Mind by the Pixies. We could have a very creative group coming out, and I'm feeling a little bit antsy, okay? And it's drawing me back to this Wallaby energy. Okay, there's this huge activation that's going on, and I'm feeling this primarily in like my heart, my lungs, okay? There's this huge awareness, this huge expansion that's happening for you, and you are being encouraged to continue going down this rabbit hole, but your inner light being really, really wants you to receive this with love from the universe. And that is so important. That's why they want you to keep it lighthearted. They want you to just let it be what it is. They want you to wear it with a smile on your face, and they want you to be honest about what you're experiencing, because there's a reason for this. Now they're showing me like all the times that it says in the Bible that people are having divine inspiration, that they're receiving messages from God, from source, from universe, that they're realizing that they are God, source, the universe, and people are smiting them and telling them to stick to the status quo. And this is most of what's in the Bible. And now we kind of have that tail end of that energy where people who are so people who are so into the Bible are doing the same thing to the same people that is exactly the story that the Bible is saying not to do. Right? It's like kind of giving that. You're kind of awakening out of this, and it doesn't have to be that energy specifically, but this is coming up for a reason. There's this like large awakening that you're having where you're like, how do you not see that? It's like, and the reason is because you're not supposed to try to convince anything or anyone else. You're supposed to keep going. And when you get further down this journey, there's always further to go. When you get further down this journey, more will expand, more will make sense, just like it does right now. You're having those little stray ends, okay, like coming to completion. You are closing out chapters. You are understanding the culmination of things as they are kind of closing off. I kind of like to see, like visually, it helps me understand conceptually better, okay? They'll show me a Yorobro, like the snake eating its tail. And they'll also show me like little stray ends and bits and pieces coming together. They'll show me like the end of a frayed rope and then a fire that's kind of burning them and welding them together. And that's like also the snake eating its tail. It's kind of closing out clear ends of things. That's where you'll get like that closure from that person. That's where you'll get realization as to why something happened at a certain time point. That's where you'll understand, oh, that kink in your shoulder is connected to that thing that happened when you were younger, and it gets triggered whenever I hear the word blue or whatever it is. Okay. Those little kind of stray ends that are highly personalized, that carry forward with you along your journey. But you are now activating beyond these energies, and there are more things like this to come, but this time they're bigger. So your inner light being wants you to know that the universe is giving this as a gift to you with love and gratitude from moment to moment. And as you begin to realize even more why you're here, it helps you live your life as if it's your own, as if it is for you to create and no one else. And there's kind of this unplugging from the matrix energy. I'm not saying that you've been locked in the matrix. I'm not saying that you're not a crystallized 19-dimensional being. For wherever you are in your spiritual journey, there's this energy here of it gets deeper, right? And so there's this progression that's causing you to make a lot of shifts and changes to your life. They might be scary. It might look like things like changing your behavior because you realize that something no longer serves you and it was a response to something. And this can also look like something, like we said in the beginning, this can look like changing your approach to people. This can look like changing your daily routine. It can look like making changes to your hair. It can look like making changes to your neighborhood. It can make like these are personal changes, so it can be things like also with death and rebirth. We have a Plutonian card here. This can be doing things like things that have to do with money or with like sex or with the way that you express yourself, the way that you tell your truth, or whether or not you are speaking the truth. Okay. So, oh, the Star card coming out with the King of Cups. So we have King and Queen of Cups. Okay, and the back of the deck energy is the Queen of Swords. Okay, so these definitely want to come out. So we're going to highlight them. They actually didn't want me to take the King of Cups, so I'm going to listen to it, but I'm going to notice that we have an energy, an external energy coming in here to support your action here. That's going to come through and let you know, okay, here's the message. It's going to validate that you deserve to be receiving these things, okay? Because it's not, there's going to be a reason why it's you, but it's also not just you. It is all seekers. It is all devotees. It is all wallabies. It is all learners. It is all beings once they reach that point in their cycle. Because you are the whole universe. The whole universe is you. You are a part of the whole. You are the whole of which there are parts. Therefore, when a realized being is walking around and they're speaking truths, they're gonna get people who can't fathom it because of what they were told to believe. And whatever they were told to believe likely hinges upon someone else who was doing exactly what you're doing. So your inner light being is saying not to take it too personally, and that some of your wishes will be fulfilled. You're going to reach a lot of success very soon, and it's going to come a lot easier than you might have thought. Okay, we have the King and Queen of Swords, King and Queen of Cups. We have a lot of energies that are making perfect sense right now. You've gained a lot of external clarity, and now you're going to be receiving that from external sources. Okay, this is giving a lot of validation that you did not get, or that you needed to give yourself. Give yourself closure, give yourself validation, give yourself, bring your own walls down instead of having someone that was actually trustworthy around you to help you warm up into it. This is giving, you did it on your own and you know that. But since you did it on your own, you do not get to denote or devalue your success, what you've learned, what you've experienced on anything or anyone else. No one gets to take that from you because it's yours and yours alone. And any energy that might say differently can find it within themselves. It's not something that only belongs to you, but it's something that you've earned. It's like when there's a marathon and there's that red tag that everyone needs to run through at the very end that says this is the end of the marathon, it's the finish line. Everybody passes that certain point, but no one's going at the same speed. People don't usually cross it all at the same time. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. It's literally relative. There's this marathon, there's the last marathon, there's the next marathon, and they all pass that certain point. And if you want to train a marathon, you know what to do. You sign up for it, you train for it. It's one of the things. If you're either into it and you do it and you cross the line, or you're not and you don't. Some people don't finish. Some people keep running after the marathon's over. That's kind of what you're looking at here. So you are being encouraged to take a bit of a perspective like this. But at the same time, you have to understand gently that there is this threshold. King of Cups is coming out again. He's making himself known for real this time. So that in and of itself is a sign, if you picked up on that. Your inner light being wants you to know that you have activated to the point where things are no longer being used as carrots for you on your spiritual progression, but you are being encouraged to keep going down the rabbit hole because now you know what happens when you do. It's not just because you experienced this thing it's not because you experienced one thing from following your intuition. It's not because you learned one thing from following your intuition. It's not because you met a certain person and it led you down a certain journey. It is because you grow and get closer to the universe for the sake of growing and getting closer to the universe. But it's like when you take the red pill or the blue pill, when you step out of the matrix, you have to make that decision, and whatever you do, there's no going back. You don't get the opportunity to keep walking down the rabbit hole again if you shut it out completely. And if you go down the rabbit hole, you can never pretend that you didn't, okay? And this is where you're at. You are coming out of a rabbit hole that already set you apart, but now you are going deeper. And there's kind of an indication that you might be like on a little bit of a solo journey here, or you might be on a very kind of exclusive group of people that are doing this. Maybe in your environment, maybe in your perception, maybe in the world, maybe take it as it resonates, because this is going to be relative and it's different for everybody. And like I said, it's kind of that passing the finish line of a marathon vibe. Everyone who decides to do it will cross that point at some point. It's just, is it going to be today? Is it tomorrow? Did they already do it? Is it next lifetime? Also, who cares? We're running the marathon because we like to run, right? So with this energy, your inner light being group number 3 wants to let you know that a lot of things are going to be coming back into fruition right now. They're going to be energies that are giving you closure. They're going to be energies that are coming with everything that you wanted and didn't get. They're going to be energies that are coming around you right now that might say, well, remember like before you went down this journey and all you wanted in life was this? Here you go. You want to step off your journey and grab it? It's really shiny. So right now you're being encouraged not to do that. You're being encouraged to keep going down the rabbit hole and have faith that there's more. Have faith that there's better. Have faith that it keeps going because you already know that it does. Because this is a cycle that you've already completed enough times to be aware of the fact that this is the cycle that you're stepping out of. On top of that, what you are receiving from the universe is going to be very, very high vibrational. It's not going to be energies that need you to heal them or fix them. It's not going to be the energies that you once thought that you deserved in spite of everything else. It's not going to be energies that reaffirm old mental frameworks or stereotypes or unhealthy behaviors or patterns or anything like this. It's going to be high vibrational. It's going to be all of the things that should have, would have, could have been that you did work for. So your inner light being wants you to trust when these things show up and also identify when something is shiny on the outside but hollow on the inside versus when it is beautiful and infinite on the inside and maybe a little bit understated on the outside. And it might surprise you which is which. Okay? You are noticing a lot of signs and synchronicities right now pertaining to certain energies. Okay? Probably different people, different paths, different jobs, different whatever it is. There are ones that come with a ton of synchronicities that are what they say they are, that are transparent. I know what that means. This is this. And there are also ones that come with signs and synchronicities that are kind of translated. For example, oh my gosh, I'm looking out for a sign of this song sung by this person. But when you're in that situation, you hear the song, but it's not by that person. It's literally the universe showing you this is not the one that you seek. But since it's the same song, it might put you down that, oh, I don't know, right? So you are being called to keep your focus centered. Keep your focus on light, source, universe, everything at this time. Your inner light being loves you so much. They see all that you've been through at this time and or up until this point, and they also want to let you know that you're not the only one who is seeing this, but it takes a large understanding to be able to express these truths. It takes a large voice to be able to express these truths. It takes a large heart to be able to compassionately deliver these truths, so on and so forth. Because what your inner light being essentially is telling you, will go down the chakras, but it's really, really activated this time, is that it takes a lot of faith to do what you're doing. You are really smart and really intuitive, and you dang well know it. Your inner light being is saying, you have something to express, and it's important that you do. And there's a reason that you have that voice of yours. There's a reason that you are so loving. You have that big heart of yours for a reason. Because when faced with things that require extra thought, when faced with things that require shifting the scales, setting things back into balance, it has to come from love. It has to be trustworthy. It has to know what it feels like. And you have to be confident enough. So now here you are. It has to know that it deserves to feel nice. It has to know that it deserves nice things, that it's capable of creating all that it wants, and that it's comfortable. It's allowed to be comfortable while it does all these things. It can be secure. It can be beautiful. It can be stable. It can be filled with faith, and it can be rational. It can be stable and loving. And in order to fully realize and awaken and balance all of these energies within you and do it out of the matrix, so to speak, is a huge, huge energy. And so your inner light being wants to leave you with some advice today. And it's going to be to continue to speak things into existence. Okay, continue to utilize your words to reach what your definition of success is, okay? Because it's different for everybody. I'll always say this. You can Google it. You can ask your favorite millionaire. You can ask your favorite yogi what their definition of success is. Your definition of success is your own, okay? So I'm going to leave that there. Continue speaking your success into existence. Okay, it can be a feeling, but continue walking down the rabbit hole too. Trust that the energies that you ran into that may have strayed you from that rabbit hole, or ones that you may have encountered while you are on that journey that maybe caused you to hold back or veer a little bit from the path. Essentially, they're saying, like, you already slayed the dragon, or they're showing me, like David and Goliath. They're also showing me, like, the Odyssey. So essentially what they're saying is the scary part is over now, okay? And so because of this, you have a clear open path, and it makes sense why you might be tiptoeing down it because of what you encountered last time you were there. But as you notice, your intuition is guiding you down towards this. Your light being self is drawing you back towards this. And on top of everything, you already know that you are getting conclusions right now. You are getting conclusive energies. You are getting things happening once and for all. You are getting closure. You are getting reemergences. You are getting signs and synchronicities. The universe is telling you confirmation. The universe is telling you that you are exactly where you need to be, and that there is no outside noise or distraction at all whatsoever that could ever possibly distract you from that path if you decide that that is what you're going to do. And so your inner light being wants to remind you that you are all of the things more than enough to continue walking down the sovereign path that you are on, and to expect a lot more high vibrational blessings to show up in your life. There are a lot of things that you got a sneak peek of that you are wondering now, well, maybe that was just a chapter. Maybe that was a lull. And your inner light being wants to let you know that that's not the case. Remember all of those times that you heard that was just a taste of what's to come. Now the floodgates are opening. So trust when good things come into your life. But also, trust in whatever is clearly on the path, and trust whatever clearly isn't. It is not for you to grab someone else's wrist and put them on the path. It is not for something to be like, well, I'm thinking about being on the path. You'll be able to clearly identify what is already on the path, because you will continue putting one foot in front of the other. And so, your advice is to keep going, keep speaking your affirmations, keep saying your things into existence, and continue with some of those inspirations and ideas and creative opportunities that you've had recently. Say yes to your opportunities, especially when they are understated. Primarily, because again, you are looking at, they keep showing me that reference of something that's shiny on the outside but hollow on the inside, versus something that is infinite and divine on the inside and maybe a bit understated on the outside. And so that's what you want to keep an eye out for. You might be surprised, just as you were when you first dove down this rabbit hole, or a rabbit hole, or the rabbit hole, or whatever, okay? Just when you first dive down, when you're surprised and you see all the singing, talking flowers and the fairy realm and the psychopomps and all the crazy, beautiful amazingness that is the universe, there will be just as much miracle, just as much grandiosity, just as much beauty on the other side. So yeah, you can keep expecting that, but also trust that you already, like, answered the troll's questions, so now you can cross the bridge, okay? I keep showing you these little, like, fairy tale examples. Okay, you already, like, slayed the giant, so now you can go, like, finish your quest. Like, they want to let you know that you already did the thing. You already did the hard thing. So don't be afraid to repass that energy again, because what's on the other side of it, as you already know, is big and beautiful and bold and amazing and miraculous. So they want you to keep going. And they also want to let you know that they want to give you validation. There's a reason why you're guarded. That makes sense. Okay, you've been through a lot. It makes sense. Okay. And if it hurts, that's okay. Give it space. But trust that you're not working on this alone, and that if you need space, what you need is space. Okay? You don't need a miracle. You are a miracle. And if what you need is space, give yourself the space. Take a nap, meditate, do some breath work. You know how to find the space within you. So your inner light being is asking you, if you need space, give yourself space. But when it comes to this unplugging from the Matrix, unplugging from that Rick and Morty video game, this little, like, nervous Wallaby energy, like, am I the only one that's seeing this? You are not, and you'll be surprised perhaps to find out who is very close to you who's also experiencing these same things. But it also takes a lot of faith. It takes someone really smart. It takes someone who is not afraid to express. It takes a compassionate heart, because a lot of this is going to hurt some of the feelings of the people who are clinging onto their mind frames so hard. It's going to take a lot of confidence, a lot of knowing that you deserve nice things, and that is what happens when you are in flow with the universe, and a lot of stability, security, and knowing that you're secure in your knowing, and everything in between. And that is where you're at. That's exactly where you're at. So if you stick out like a sore thumb, it's only because you are emerging from a crack in a sidewalk. You're blossoming as a flower, but when you complete your blossoming, you'll look around and you'll see that you're far from the only flower out there. So that is what I have from your inner light being group number 3. That is your message today. If you liked this reading, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. It means the world to me, and I love what I do with my whole heart. I hope this helps shed love, light, and clarity on your situation. And if you want to listen to readings from your shadow self, please listen to Carissa's video down below in the description box. As always, I'm sending you all my love, light, and gratitude, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, week, month, year, and incarnation in this beautiful realm. Namaste.